Hey friend, it is day 9 of my 100-day posting journey, and I am so excited about today. Today's what I know now is about staying the same. I had a great day. I had a really, really great day. I posted a post on Threads today and it went viral. And it wasn't the post going viral. That's the reason I had a great day. It's the engagement. It was the comments and the back and forth. It was the connection that I've gained with strangers. It was the people that shared how inspired they were from me sharing the post. And I'm also celebrating my second expat anniversary with my husband living abroad in Thailand. It has been 2 beautifully intentional, loving, safe, and peaceful years of not being solely in the US that I had to share about it. The expat anniversary was actually in January, but I'm just realizing that we're in February now, and it gave me something to celebrate. So today I posted this post on Threads, and it's gotten over 3K likes and hundreds of comments and plenty of shares and saves. And again, it was the real engagement under this post, the inspiration under this post that made my heart so warm today. The thread reminded me of why this 100-day posting journey is so important, especially why this second week is really, really important. What it shared with me, what it reminded me was that we're all craving a level of honesty that scripts don't allow. When we are living this scripted version of our lives, people can feel that. People can feel the lack of authenticity now, right? We often hear people say things like the veil is lifted, this is a different timeline, this is a different frequency. And all of that is true. We are no longer being jaded by just what we're shown because we're feeling things now. We are resonating with posts and content that we can feel. And that post going viral in a matter of hours just reminded me that this week, my week 2 of posting videos is in alignment with what people are looking for. It's in alignment with what is being engaged with the most on social media. It's not the aesthetically beautiful things. It's the things that people can feel, the things that people are resonating with. It is the unscripted, the raw, the authentic version of ourselves that's getting the most love right now. And I am so hype about that. Like I said, the post that I shared was really about me convincing my husband, 1, to get a passport when we met because he didn't have one. 2, convincing him that Thailand was going to be a great alternative to regulating his nervous system because the US was just it wasn't doing it. And we ended up coming to Thailand for our honeymoon. I planned a 10-day trip here. We visited 3 cities and it was amazing. And I remember the look on his face when we were headed back home on the plane. And like I said in the post, I thought I saw a tear, but I know I felt the dread because I had been where he was, right? The first time you get a taste of life, of peace outside of the US, it's really difficult to imagine yourself going back there and just forgetting all about that. And so I felt that. And a few months after that, we came out here for 3 months. We loved it so much. We went home and sold all of our things and moved back here in a matter of the same year. And when I say that people loved that post, not just because we did it, but because it showed that they can do it too. And again, just the inspiration that post, just the impact of the post to inspire people to say, man, I can do this. This is possible. There is a young couple out here that is really doing it. And we've shared our whole entire 3-year journey. Now 3 years, we posted all of it on YouTube for other people to join and see and get inspired by, and or get inspired from. And we share all of the things that work for us and all of the mistakes we made so that people can do it too. So that people can want to do it too, right? Because we're not convincing anybody of anything. We are just being authentic and sharing what we're doing. And it was so beautiful to have people see us doing this, to celebrate us doing this for 2 years, and then to have people reach out and say, hey, how can I do X, Y, and Z, right? Do you have any information on this? And be able to just point them to a video, a link, and say, yep, we shared this, here you go. And they find their way to the video and to the information that will hopefully inspire them to make the move to Thailand or wherever else they decide to live outside of the US. I think that made today really, really beautiful to me. But anyway, the video today is about the cost of staying the same. Here is also what I know, especially from our move, is that there's this pivot that happens in the dark, and I want to call it the shift, right? Because shifts are internal. It's what goes on inside of us before the external pivot is seen by others. And when you're shifting, you're really changing your frequency, right? You're not just thinking about the next level. You're not just thinking about the task and what your life is going to look like and manifesting. What you're actually doing is becoming the person, becoming the version of you that exists in that pivot. The shift is when you change your frequency internally so much that your external reality matches what you've done on the inside. In that post, I said to people that I convinced my husband, but what really happened was that things shifted within him. So much so that the outcome was that our external reality changed, that we were able to pivot from living in the US to living in Thailand. That happened behind the scenes before we even left the country. The shift happened within him to trust himself, to have confidence, to understand that the world is bigger than the US, to believe in himself and me and us so much that he was willing to take this huge risk with me. Those things, that was so beautiful. And it didn't happen overnight, but it happened so quickly that we were able to move like very swiftly to get to Thailand. And when people were engaging under that post, what it said to me is that we're ready to stop pretending that we're not changing. Like, we're not living in the same version of life that we've always lived in, that we were given and that we inherited. We're living in completely different times. And people are not here for the pretending. People are wanting the reality. They want to stop scripting and just live authentic lives that feel real good. And when they see other people living their best lives, they are inspired to shift internally so that their external reality can match that. Like, you don't just find your next level. You become the version of the person who exists in that experience. And that is how you get to your next level. Today was 100% clarity that is what is happening for so many people. Not just people wanting to leave the US, but people around the world are shifting internally. And what we're seeing in the external is the pivots that are taking place because of those internal shifts. It also reminded me of how dangerous it is. I want to say this very clearly. It is so dangerous to stay the same because you are afraid of disappointing other people. You cannot live a life where you are not living authentically and believing that no one is getting hurt. Because the person that is the most impacted by you staying in the same life when you know you're being called to different places, the person that is impacted the most in the negative way is you. You are hurting yourself by pretending that you're okay because you're afraid to disappoint other people. We cannot live like that. You cannot live like that. It costs you way more to stay the same than it will ever cost you to change. In time, in money, in trust, self-trust, it costs you so much to work through that, as opposed to taking a risk and seeing how it works out for you. And yes, other people may be disappointed in your decisions, but you know who won't be disappointed? You. You won't be disappointed, friend. It is going to feel like love when you stop pretending to live this version of your life, when you release the fear of disappointing other people and you start to embrace the reality of what it is that you want in this world. Man, the light bulbs that come on, the blessings that you attract, it's crazy. It's so good. It's so good. I can't even express it. Moving to Thailand was single-handedly one of the best things we've ever done. And not just because it's more affordable to live here and the people are kind and the food is really, really good. Not just because of, the fact that we have community here, because there are a lot of Black Americans here and we can do many things and go to many countries. It was single-handedly one of the best decisions because it aligned with our life, because it was the truth of how we wanted to live. And we didn't pretend that we wanted to be in the US. We didn't pretend that we weren't afraid to disappoint our family and friends who wanted to see us all the time, who wanted us to stay there. We weren't afraid of that. I'm sure people were disappointed by it, but they never said it to us. And if they did, okay. Yeah. I hate that you're disappointed, but we're still going to go. And our lives have changed for the better because we made the decision not to pretend that we were okay there. We made the decision to follow what was calling to us. And it's been a blessing ever since. I know that this work that I'm doing is so important in this world because every time I share or mention or post about the intentional life that we live and about the work that I'm doing, it doesn't go viral, but it gets so much engagement. And I don't post anything on social media with the intention of it going viral. I just like talking. And I like being on video and sharing what I know and what I love talking about. And it's translating in so many other areas now. I'm seeing it in my coaching clients, and it's also the heart of my retreat, Glow Forward. The goal, the purpose, the intention of Glow Forward in Thailand is not a vacation. It is literally a safe and structured space for you to come and unmask yourself, for you to be in community with people who are doing the same thing, who are finally tired of living a life that requires them to wear a mask that they don't want to wear anymore. That is what Glow Forward is for. It is a space for you to unlearn what you've learned, for you to stop performing life and start living life. Glow Forward is a sacred container for community to come together and unmask in front of each other so that you finally get an opportunity to not feel like you're alone in this world, to not feel like you're doing this work by yourself. Because it's true, you're not alone. There's so many people. There's 3,000 at least who resonated with one post that I made. So no, you are not the only one experiencing this. And you don't have to do it by yourself. There is a retreat that's coming this year. And if you feel called to unmask and start living your life instead of performing it, I am inviting you to pull up. I want you to come through and feel how good it feels to let all of the masks go and just be yourself. Let's see what happens together. Let's see how your light brightens when you get to take off the masks and just be yourself. I am so excited for this retreat. You don't even understand. It is going to be so good. So good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah. So Glow Forward is there for this purpose of unmasking and doing it in front of other people who will be doing the same thing. And I'm also coaching people through these transitions on a daily basis, talking to people through their pivot season, talking to people who are shifting internally, helping people with different perspectives to the situations that they're in. This is the work that I really love doing because you are one conversation away from a different life. And I am here to guide people to not just see the forest from the trees, but to see the forest and the trees. I want you to leave every experience, leave every video that you watch, leave every post that I share, and every retreat that you attend with me. I want you to leave feeling like you are closer to being your most authentic self. That is always my goal, that you see your light more clearly. Before I get out of here today, I have one question for you. Well, I actually have a two-part question for you. If you were to stop performing your life for 24 hours, what is one thing you'd finally have to admit to yourself? And the follow-up to that is, what's one thing that you've outgrown? If you really sat down and think about it, for 24 hours, you don't have to perform the work, the titles, parent, spouse. You don't have to do any of that. What is one thing that you'd finally have to admit to yourself? And what is one thing that you've outgrown in this life, in your current state? I know I don't often answer this question, but I do want to answer the question today because I have a really good response. I thought about this question as I was preparing to record this video, and I said, if I had to stop performing for 24 hours, what would I finally admit? I would finally admit that I still occupy spaces that undervalue me. I still am in relation with people who don't understand my value. And that in itself is light dimming for me. And so what I've outgrown is spaces where I'm undervalued, where people don't honor my light. I've outgrown that. And I'm stepping into this season in a very unscripted way. I'm stepping into this season very raw and authentic, even more than I've ever been. And that is going to require me to have some tough conversations. But I am willing to do that because what I know now is it costs too damn much to stay the same. And I'm not doing it. So So yeah, I hope that this video sparked something in you today. I hope that you share what it is that you would admit for yourself and what's one thing that you've outgrown in the comments of this video. I would love to read more about where you are. And if you are inspired to come to Glow Forward, to unmask and stop performing, check the description of this video. I have tons of helpful links in the description. And I will see you tomorrow, friend. Have the greatest night. Peace.